Many of the 57.6 million passengers who made their way through Dubai International last year arrived on Emirates Airline. The carrier handles 196 aircraft going to 128 destinations, which is no easy feat, as I found out firsthand in a visit to the Emirates Airline Network Control Center. Here, via world-class monitoring equipment, every one of the 1,200 weekly flights can be redirected at the touch of a button. George Bromer, one of the vice presidents in charge of the Network Control Center, gave me a private tour.
You're basically here in the Emirates Network Control Center, which is the ops center of the airline, the heart of the airline. This is where all the information comes together. This is where we control every movement, every departure out of Dubai, every flight phase in flight, and of course all the outstations. Currently 196 aircraft, around about 400 flights a day, something like 60, 70,000 passengers, and they're all being controlled basically in the Network Control Center. The big screen, if you look at this, is basically our network, what we call the network. You see the actual positions of our aircrafts. Dubai pretty much in the middle. You see all the departures which went to Europe. You see a lot of departures to Far East, India, to Australia, Africa.
But things don't always run smoothly. Unforeseen events like the recent snowstorms in Europe, tropical storms off Southeast Asia, and even events as large and disruptive as the 2010 ash cloud all need to be taken into account.
There's always a planning phase at the beginning, which means we have the weather alerts either from the stations or from authorities or from weather channels or weather maps and products we're having. So we know what the weather will be like. We then put fuel on aircraft, so it's not like that we are totally unprepared on the situation. Once that is done, once the aircraft is launched, if at all, there's possibly a delay even possible due to strong weather. And weather can be various impacts. As you said, it can be snow, which is good, predictable. It can be fog, it can be tropical cyclones, hurricanes, stuff like that. So there's a lot of, the whole weather issue could play up.
But just how do they keep up to date with every weather front around the world?
These are monitoring products which we are using across the globe, basically. This is one of UAE, it's a DAS weather radar where you can see some precipitation building up over Bahrain, moving towards Doha. Doubt very much it will come to the UAE, but we'll monitor all these things. Of course, they have an impact on en route, whether we can probably not fly through this and have to deviate from that route. This is North America. You see the East Coast here. There's a bit of a front line coming in with precipitation later on. Again, it's not snow related because you asked for snow earlier. This is warm temperature coming in, but it has significant amount of rain and severe winds as well. New York can get up to 60 knots, which is almost 85 kilometers of wind on the ground. So
how would this affect your airplanes coming
in?
Well,
we're flying to New York, we're flying to Toronto, we're flying to Washington. And of course, we have to monitor the alternate situation. If we are not able to land at those destinations, then we have to fly to our alternates, which should be behind the front line. We call this a front line, so behind the weather, and use airports like Philadelphia or even Toronto, which is not too much affected, to divert there.
And in terms of unforeseen crises on an aircraft, say a pilot falls ill or a passenger has a heart attack, how is that dealt with?
Again, the aircraft have the capability to send us little ACAS messages, which is like an SMS message, comes on a printer or into an Outlook inbox, or they have the capability to call us on satellite phone contacts, so they would call us in this case, tell us what is happening on board, tell us about the situation, and then we do a conference call with the clinic in Arizona, which is called MedLink. There's a doctor coming to the phone giving advice to the to the cabin crew on board and to us, and then we make a joint decision where the aircraft would go. For example, if it's necessary on a stroke or heart attack to divert immediately, the aircraft would be diverted to the next suitable airport where we can recover our operation, the passenger is taken care of, and we still would be able to continue.
As one of the world's fastest growing airlines, Emirates has huge expansion plans, with nearly 100 new aircraft projected to join their fleet within the next decade. But how will this expansion impact their network operations?
In the Network Control Center, we can integrate it easily. We just need a couple of more staff here and there, so it's actually not that manpower intensive to have more aircraft. The constraints are there in terms of Dubai Airport, and everybody knows about that. So we're looking at plans, and of course are discussing that with airport services, with the Dubai Airport authorities, and see what the future expansion will look like.
Now, what about the proposed move to Dubai World Central? Is that going to affect your operation?
The Dubai World Central is a great opportunity, in all fairness. I mean, an airport with 6 runways, that's what we're dreaming of here. That will be ideal for the morning departure. We can line up 3, 4, 5 A380s and depart at the same time. So in terms of capacity, unrestricted capacity, I think that's the future way to go, probably. In how far there's a split between operations, or whether Emirates stays here, or whether we're going somewhere, or other airlines are shifted, that is, again, out of my control. And I'm looking forward to the plans which are coming there. In the long run, I think Dubai World Centre is a good opportunity.